Most cafe owners know the difference between a cafe and a restaurant. Do you know what can you picture yourself in a restaurant right now? And it's around 5 o'clock at night. And what's the experience? Can you think about, and then a cafe? There's a big difference. One of them is designed differently. They both offer food. They both offer beverage. However, a restaurant can get noisy and loud, whereas a good cafe offers a blend between a too quiet atmosphere and the perfect level of ambiance and music, and is conducive to creative thought. That's the third place. Pubs, restaurants, and fast food chains are not usually the place to relax in comfort. It's not a place where you're going to go and have a really meaningful dialogue. You can do that, and yes, we often do, but creative thought is diminished in the mix of the distractions that take place. And it isn't surprising that some of the dumbest things that you will ever hear are in a pub. They're noisy, and along with beverages that they might be drinking. But actually, that's probably a different story. But in fact, if the intent is to move the clientele through quickly to the next paying customer, that's a restaurant. 5 or 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, they want you to come in, they want you to enjoy the meal, but then they're often hoping that the next clientele will come in and fill the seat. And so the lights will dim, the music gradually increases in volume, and it stunts the social networking that can take place there. And it helps with the bottom dollar. So it's all about the bottom line. Sociologist Ray Oldenburg, in his book, The Great Good Place, wrote about the need for community spaces. The first place is home. The second place is work. And then there's that third place. City planners have been aware for centuries of the concept of the gathering place where democracy and community can thrive. In ancient Greek, one such place was called the agora, literally meaning the gathering place or the assembly. And the social, spiritual health, and community well-being of societies are tied to what Oldenburg called that third place. In the last century, city planners were concerned about the loss of community in the downtown core. So they started structuring community centers and parks and gathering places and cafes. Cafes were being part of that. Third place was necessary for communities to thrive. So the parks, cafes, local hangouts could enhance community, and it breaking down barriers, social barriers, silos, helping people to mix and blend together. And it was part of the fabric of society. Churches are often that third place as well. And often the foyer is where that third place happens, where people mix and blend. During the pandemic, we lost that. It was all shut down. But we are gradually now finding our way back into the third place, where we can gather together in community and share, where the differences are diminished and where we find common ground. That's the third place. And that's why I like the cafe. It's structured for that to happen. You can sit there and you can see different people. You can hear their stories as it's unfolding as well. Sometimes you can even engage with them. The third place.
That is so insightful, Pastor Ron. I loved how you use imagery and kind of walked us through that, because you're right. When pandemic happened, we lost that third place.
All of it.
And it probably kind of highlighted the need for this third place that you were talking about. Is absolutely point on.
Yeah, we lost that, and it impacted us. emotionally. So, and many people couldn't leave the home because they didn't have the work even. So sometimes when a place of business or an organization that knows and learns how to create that third place at work, that ambiance, that cafe where community can happen, I believe that business thrives. And there are businesses that have learned how to do that. As I started, I was talking about the latte. I was grateful for the well-crafted maple latte. However, it needed to be stirred to be truly appreciated. In the third place, the Spirit of God can also stir our hearts to the needs of those around us. And I think we need to be attuned to those we're listening to and to those who are around us. Listening ear, a calming word, the loving presence of Jesus exuding from us to the barista, the customers, and yes, the family and friends who are gathered there with us. I think that third place is critical for that. And we need to be in tune to what is God saying to us and challenging us to do in community. More than ever, our communities need Jesus, I believe, in the third place, the gathering place where conversations can break down the layers and can blend into his perfect love and harmony. I think it's important so that the love of Jesus, and our world needs that more than ever. Above all, Jesus said, clothe yourselves with love, which binds us all together in perfect harmony, and let the peace that comes from Christ rule in your hearts. For as members of one body, you're called to live in peace and always be thankful. That was actually the writing of Colossians chapter 3, verse 14 and 15.
I'm thankful for the third place too.
Yeah.
And for you sharing that as well. This kind of concludes our first session for this segment. And please join us for our next one because there is more wealth and wisdom coming around. Thank you, Pastor Ron. We'll join you in the next one.
Okay, thank you.